to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming actually, it's humbling, it's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
This isn't an ad about four-wheel drives. It's about knowing the place, as well as the locals.
You found the place. That's a good start. Built by my great-grandfather.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
Kia ora koutou, ena iwi, ena mana, ena reo, ena hou e whā o te motu. Nā mihi o te rā kia koutou, nau mai, haere mai. Ki te Bunnings New Zealand Secondary Schools Championships, and what a day we have. Day 3, it's ready for the action and it's finals time. We have the mixed Mahuri final going between Tauponui Tia College and Kaupapa Māori o Rua Mata. Aroha mai koutou, but we're looking forward to this. Look at the action, look at the smiles on those dials. We're ready for action. You may recognise this Tauponui Tia. They've been on the main stage more than, what's his name, Morrison, Timuira Morrison, I think, today in Rotorua. What a great time we have with the sun is shining now. The rain has stopped. I'm joined in the commentary box, none other than number 1 in the world many times, Maya Williams in the referee scene, and Mr. Smile on his dials, Michael Kavanagh. It's great to have you guys here. We'll start off with Maya. What are you expecting in this game?
I haven't seen Te Kura Kaupapa Māori or Rua Mata play, but I have seen Tauponui Tia, and I really like the look of Eski, the number 5 from Tauponui Tia. He's probably the smoothest player I've seen all weekend, and he absolutely dominated in the game yesterday. So really looking forward to see how he goes and who comes out on top in this final.
Awesome, and when you talk of smooth, there's no one that's smoother than yourself, so you'll be the first one to identify the smoothness in the team. And we go to Mr. Nice Guy, and one of New Zealand's finest, New Zealand player, New Zealand coach, recognised as one of our greatest wingers of all time, Michael Kavanagh. It's great to have you here today. What are you feeling with this game?
Yeah, no, good to be here, Georgie and Maya. Much similar to yesterday, hopefully within this this mixed grade, hopefully a lot of entertainment on the scene, get a few touchdowns with the flair and exuberance that we'll be able to see with some of these young players out there.
Oh, awesome, and I know that you've got the flair and exuberance when you play, and you've been bringing it over the last 2 days with the commentary as well. It's good to have you both here bringing the live action, and as we see on our screen, Tauponui Tia, you'll recognise a few of those names from the Tuwharetoa region at the Māori Champs as well last weekend here in Rotorua, and they'll be taking on the locals, Kaupapa Māori or Rua Mata. What a challenge we have, and there's our referees, Adrian Brown, Matt Weaver and John Wright.
Yeah, 3 very good referees here, George, and they're key to a really good game and keeping teams apart and not over-managing the game, but just getting it to the right level. And Adrian's the lead referee in this, and he's one of the best, and he's an up-and-coming ref. It's great to see that black badge on his left chest there, and well-deserved, and he's going to go places and continue to go places, I should say.
Oh, very good. And I'll be very, very impressed with the young talent coming through in the referee scene. None of them have been out of their ground here. They've just stepped up to the occasion, done due diligence to the sport, and I'm very proud of what they've put on the stage. And as we look to our screen, in our white, we have Tauponui Tia, and I think they have the ball working from your screen left to right. Famous 2-minute music is kicking us off, and here we go.
So Taupo here with the tap. They'll be looking to start their set nice and accurate. They won't want to be making any too many fundamental errors as we see them just creeping into the 7 here. going to their number 1 playmaker and number 5, just looking to stay nice and calm, look to get into the line, was having a look up, noticed that none of the defence kind of left their markers, so straight away to Kura Kaupapa Moro Oromata, you know, they're making sure that they're nice and controlled on that defensive line. As you see a middle split here, looking for a left to right, nice draw and pass, and there's Tauponui Tia starting us off in the corner, 1 touchdown to 0.
There we go with the Apollo Projects replay. Nice and easy, takes control, nice dump on the 7, splits to the right, nice soft hands, linked to winger, and you couldn't get finer than that with a nice slide dive on the end for Tauponui Tia. First touchdown to number 12, Anaka. What are you expecting from these conditions? How do you think it's going to change this game?
Oh, I'm actually super excited. Yesterday the rain was off and on all day, and you could tell when it was raining. I guess the accuracy in the yards and the ruck area was not as good as when it wasn't. So the fact that it's not sun shining, but there's no rain, it's not wet underfoot, I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, unlucky there from.
Yeah, and speaking about underfoot, we still see a few slipovers because there is dew and it's still soft under toe. So expect to see a few slides and a few balls to ground this early in the morning as the sun comes out. Hopefully it's out for the rest of the day. We'll get some really high level touch going on.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a walk over the field this morning just to see what both ends were like, and it's really only that middle part of the field where there's a little bit of lost traction in the ground where it's just been eaten up a little bit. So there's obviously been a lot of stepping that's been happening in the 7 as we see Tauponui Tia on attack here looking for another draw and pass to the right, but Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata equal to the task there in defence, you know, making sure that they didn't get beaten on that short side and chase them down to manage to secure a touch and pass.
Kev, most teams probably had 6 games up till today. What's the difference in the mindset of being in a final versus just in a round robin game or one of the qualifying games?
I guess there's a level where you just don't want to get complacent on your last effort. You know, you're creeping closer to some of those end goals that every team may have, and it's just about making sure that you stick to those processes and systems that have got you there, and don't get too excited or overawed by the occasion that you're doing something a little bit that's out of the tool belt in terms of to what's got you to this stage of the tournament. As we see Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata on attack here, they almost successful in their last attempt to the right to left, as we see them on a nice quickie play with the girl in the middle. Number 85, Roy Mata Brown, trying to take on the boys.
You don't normally see that, Kev. What might be one of the reasons that they've brought one of their female players into the middle?
I guess when I kind of look at the mixed game, you know, as we see Roy Mata Brown there again, going for a dive, you know, they're using it nice and early, and that's the trust that I think many teams will have with their girl players. And the more trust that they have that they can actually do the same job as the boys, you can actually see a little bit more success in those type of teams when it comes to the mixed grade. But I guess in our expertise, man, of Georgie to my right here, you'd probably be able to talk on that a little bit more.
Yeah, talking on that, I'll come back to that. We do have a touch. We thought we had a touchdown, but it was a touch and pass. Great defence for Tauponui Tia. And coming back to that question about the mixed game, back in the day when I first started out, females in the middle were very prominent, but through the ages, only few women could manage the middle, and Tabitha Hape, now Mackenzie, was one of those strong ones. Cecily Stenton, prominent in the middles that could work it just like any male out there, and I'm sure this young lady Brown has the goods to be there in the middle as well.
Here's the man of the moment. Eski, all unlucky there. Georgie, you didn't get to see him yesterday, but he was just so smooth and he had so many options, and he never went to the same option every time. And for me, that was his class yesterday, is knowing that I've done this now, the defence will probably react in this way, and so he went to the next stage from A to B to C, and it was just really incredible to watch someone so young, and obviously he's doing well in the representative teams, and you can see why yesterday.
Yeah, he's been very fortunate. Some great development coming behind him and some great coaching. And Akuhata Whānau have built him through his systems and gave him those ABCs and have allowed him to do his job. And what a cool head he has.
Yeah, that was just a nice passive play there leading into the line there by Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata, you know. They managed to isolate that one side, but just unfortunate. He had his head down and didn't see that as we see Eski here going down the sideline as Tauponui Tia crossed the half. But just a bit unfortunate for that last attack there by Te Kura Kaupapa. Unfortunately for their attack, the winger from Tauponui Tia was equal to that task, and he was able to collapse and make a crucial touch leading into the goal line.
Yeah, with about 5 minutes gone, we've seen them crack the scoreline many of times. It's just linking up with that final pass, getting it to a free agent, or getting it away before the touch has been made. So it's been both ends of touch as we reach the 9-minute mark in the first half, and I've been excited. I've enjoyed the touch so far.
Yeah, it's been a low-scoring one, but it hasn't been lacked any enterprise. That both teams on the attacking line. Ooh, as we see a pass the wind might have just had a gust there and went a little bit forward. Great call there from Adrian. But it's been, I think it's been a really good game, even though we only had 1-0 to Taupō-Nuiatea.
I'll tell you what, and what's usually happening in these first 5 minutes, they're feeling each other out, feeling the defence styles, what's going to work, and like you talked about that young Eski mate, he'll be picking his timings of those ABCs, whether there's a shutter, whether the wing is coming right in, and he'll be fine-tuning his art. Speaking of art, there it is, back-to-back, number 3 dotting down, 4. Talk us through it, Cam.
Yeah, as we go to the Caltex replay here, we just see a nice 33 setup in the middle. Brings him back to the short side. He sees that the link just folds in a little bit there, draw and pass, and able to cross over for their second try.
Nice work, Cav. And Kalani dots down his number 1 for today on the scoreboard.
Unfortunately, the rain has arrived, so hopefully it doesn't affect play too much here. We got a penalty here, I think, for not moving forward off the line. All defensive players must have a positive intent to move forward when down on the scoreline.
Yeah, I think the pleasing thing to start this game is that we've seen a lot of completed sets. You know, yesterday in the weather there was a little bit more drop ball that was out there, so it's cool to see that both teams have kind of taken that confidence into this game, that they're able to secure the ball and made sure that they've gone end to end to start off in the first half of this first half. As we see Te Kura Kaupapa Maro Oromata having a crack at the line there through number 9 Palmer, trying to keep the defence honest. Nice right to left pass there. Unfortunately for our winger, she wasn't able to gather that in.
Unfortunately, they're starting to cut up down there on the 7, down this end of the field. It'll be interesting to see, as not only as this game progresses, but as we progress through the day, to see if that has an impact on the attacking abilities and opportunities of the teams over the course of the day.
Yeah, it's great to see Mitchell running off there. He's done his work. He's done some great yards, some great defence there, and you saw on the 7 metre there, he got up nice and high in the passing lane, causing the double pump up ball going to ground. Well done. Great start for you, Mitchell.
Taupō-Nuiatea here back on attack. They've really liked this right side of the field. They've obviously identified that that's where they're getting a lot of their success from. So they're making sure that they're targeting that passage of the field. Now we just need Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata here to just get some good intent through their drive as they're coming through the orange zone. They'll be looking to get some fresh legs on as their subbers come onto the field, wrapping around as they try to centralise their attack. Probably just need a little bit more speed in their legs, as that's a good strike dump. As we see Piriraka, unfortunately he's unable to beat the defence there, as a good short side defender is able to make the touch leading into the scoreline.
Yeah, I think the thing that only thing separating the two teams is just accuracy of the finish, because actually Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata have actually been really aggressive in their attack and had some really good options, just unfortunately haven't been able to finish. And I know there was a couple of close calls there with touches and forward passes, but they've got a great opportunity here now, a fresh set already into the attacking half. Let's see what they can come up with.
Yeah, Pirika back at dummy half there. He's been strong in the middle here. He's taking some leadership. Great surname there. I think he's a whanaunga of mine there, and I can see it in his body type, so he must be related there. Muscles on muscles.
How do you see mischief in a body type, George?
As Pewharangi Charlie there, he just looks to have a bit of a dive on the outside. Defender was able to make it back there 7 metres to make the touch. As we see Pirika again on the pick, tries to find his hole chopper. Wasn't able to evade the defensive line in that set though.
Missed opportunity maybe there, Cape, you think, just in the width that the number 10 had, rather than maybe chopping a little bit tighter. He sort of was almost right in line with the defender, made it easy for the defender, didn't really have to make a decision.
Yeah, maybe just narrowing their attack, closing up those passes a little bit, making the defence come a little bit tighter. It may help their execution of being able to get an outcome when they come down onto the scoreline. But I really like how these girls, you know, there's no fear in them. They're not afraid to have a go in the middle. And I think that just goes to show the confidence that this Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata team are playing with. As they centralise their attack again, getting a quickie to the outside. Understands that the defence there was able to man up as they go back, looking for a good right to left pass there. And just unfortunate again, the winger just unable to bring it in. Maybe we just need to drop those passes a little bit, try and get it to the bread basket, make it a little bit easier for some outcomes out wide.
Yeah, and what I'll say once again, Tamamutu Mitchell, number 10, has done well on defence. He's been solid in the middle, and he's going off now. They might have to stay.
This will be the fourth set for Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata. They really need to take advantage of these opportunities. Their head down here, it's 2-0. They need to crack back soon. I know there's plenty of time, but they'd want to make the most of their fourth set now on the line.
Yeah, and just in a little bit of contrast there for Taupo Nui Atia, you know, that's their third set where they just haven't managed to get out of their red zone there. They haven't managed to quite get to a subset, so they'll be looking to try and stay nice and composed here on the defensive line and hopefully get to a water in the next set. As we see a great defending touch there from the link from Taupo. Was able to get off the line in a nice positive line. And once again, equal to the task, making 2 in a row.
Let's see if Taupo can get to their box, get through this transition phase with some accuracy, slowed it up to try and get that control, get some fresh legs on, get the man of the moment on to see what he can do, have a finish here.
Yeah, this is where Taupo will want their fresh legs here to come on. Try and get to a good strike dump on fifth. We've seen these two boys working together all weekend. Just nice patience. Unfortunately, probably just held the ball a little bit too long there. And coming back to the touch and pass. As Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata equal to what Taupo Nui Atia did the other end and made sure that they weren't able to cross the line. Racking out of trouble. Trying to get some nice fresh legs on here to hopefully break the defence of Taupo Nui Atia here, who through the first passage of this first half have been unable to fold down on their defensive line. They've had questions asked of them, but they've made sure that every time they've been nice, cool, calm and collective and just stuck to their processes, as we see again, trying to execute something on that short side. So they're definitely getting options to their short side here as Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata. Just Taupo Nui Atia, you know, they're just keeping their spaces nice and accurate and not allowing them to get through the line.
Kev, if you were the coach of Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata, what is it that you'd be saying at half-time that can get them that accuracy on the finish so they can dot down and get on the scoreboard?
I think we've seen that there's been a lot of chasing when they've latched them there to the short side. As we see Taupo Nui Atia just here trying to get something to the right to left, but unfortunately the winger was unable to collect that pass in the corner. But just going back to your question, Maya, yeah, I think that now we've seen that, you know, they've been able to make them chase, maybe looking at like a simple latch or a late cut for those of us that know that, then we might be able to execute something back to the left, to the right, or to the open side.
Always questioning that one. The slippery tuna almost gets through there through two players, but one of those was a slight touch on the shirt. Good honesty play there. Referee was in a good position to call that one.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that yesterday as well, just where players' honesty comes into the game so much, and it's great to see the respect of both teams there to acknowledge that, yes, it was a touch made on the shirt.
I tell you what's really impressed me is the quality of the female players in this game, particularly the attack of the girls in Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata, but the defence, and we'll see it here to see if the defence of the female players in Taupo Nui Atia, an intercept in a way the camera didn't even know it was happening.
As we see Lewai going the full length of the field, and just after I said what I said about throwing in a nice little late cut, Taupo Nui Atia, they must have thought it might have been coming too, and he just spots that in the lane, is able to run forward through the pass, collect that, and go the length of the field.
I'll tell you what, as I got older and slower as a ref, I told the captains at the start, if there's any runaways, I'll put you in the sin bin. That's the worst part of refereeing, when you have to chase a full field runaway.
Nice, and these young ones, I think there's a Jacob there keeping up with him, and David Lewai is no slouch. He's got gas to burn. He's actually got more gas than a baked beans convention, I think.
Leading into half with about 5 seconds to go. Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rūmata. They want to try and get one on the board, give them a bit of confidence leading into the second half. As we hear the hooter go, last play, And there we have it.
Yeah, going into the half-time break, we have a score of 3-0 to Toponuia. And what a great half we have. We'll let you go and get those cup of teas, those biscuits, those water breaks, and come back really enthused for a second half between Toponuia College and Te Kura Kaupapa Māori of Ruamata. Touch, what a game.
We're going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize.
Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming actually, it's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bayleys finding buyers that others can't.
No mai hoki mai whānau mā, haere mai ki te mix Mahuri final. The showdown between Toponuia and Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Ruamata. And what a game we've had on our hands with 3 touchdowns scored for Toponuia. But don't be disarrayed by the score. It's been end-to-end touch in this interesting weather of sunshine, a bit of drizzle and light underfoot. We're expecting a good half for the second half. These boys have commentated these teams before, so what are you expecting in the second half? We'll start with you, Cav.
Yeah, I think for Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Ruamata, they've had their opportunities on attack. It's just been their lack of execution on the goal line there, that's just let them down a bit. But equal to that, Toponuia, they've managed to take their moments, take their chances, and as well stay nice and calm when they've been put under pressure through back-to-back sets through their defensive line.
Staying nice and calm and or doing their things right, as probably Mr. T James would be saying. Maya Williams, your thoughts on the first half and going into the second half, and if you had to add some information to the teams?
I wouldn't say that the games lacked energy in the first half. It seems that both teams know the occasion, know it's the final, it's the last game. They really don't want to lose the game. But I would say they've probably been a little bit more conservative than I've seen in the previous days. So I'm really hoping now they've got a half under their belt, they'll be able to express themselves and show the dynamic skills that they all have.
And here we go, Toponuia with ball in hand. Maybe with a fresh set, no, not going for the ball, going for the touch, ball to ground. Very consistent course throughout this tournament. Any shutdowns like that have been ball to ground. What do you think, Maya?
Horses for courses for me. I'm not one size fits all. I think if someone puts their hand in the passing lane intentionally to stop the ball, then it'd be 6 again. And if someone was just making a touch and it happened to hit their hand, well, then I would have called it ball to ground as well.
Bye.
As we see Roimata Brown here on attack, she's been really impressive in this game, taking the boys on, including herself in that middle, trying to get on the end of every opportunity she can. It's really pleasing to see the confidence in her game when it comes to this mixed plate final. As we see Toponuia here, just trying to ruck themselves out of trouble, trying to get their fresh set on, looking for that sneaky one down the sideline. Was unable to catch out the defence there of Te Kura Kaupapa Māori or Ruamata there. They saw it happen a couple of times in the first half and they weren't letting it happen that time. As we see Toponuia here into the 7, looking for a draw and pass. just puts a little too much heat on that ball and it just sails over the sideline.
Yeah, one too many wheat bix this morning for breakfast. Might need to slow down on that diet. He put some power. Or was it protein shake, Maya Williams?
I wouldn't know either. McDonald's Hunger Buster, I think. Here we go, nice break from Brown again. She's so confident, eh? She just looks like she owns it when she's out there. Must be amazing for the boys to play with such incredible female talent like that.
Maya, you've done a lot of mixed coaching over your time. You're one of the best in the game in refereeing, and you're one of the best in coaching as well with Paeroa College, taking them to titles. So you know this game very well. Whoa, unfortunately, just overcooked that one. Coming back to you in the mixed game, what would you be adding in that female sense? What sort of combos would you be working?
I probably wouldn't be adding as much GST to the compliment you gave me there, Georgie, but here we go, have another break, another referee killer, length of the field. Oh, great chase down. I thought he was home easy there, the number 10 from Toponuiatia, Tamamutu, but he got tracked down. Good intercept, he's got his team back on attack.
I think that just goes to show the effort of this Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata team, you know. Even though they're down 3-0 on the scoreboard, they're making sure that they're leaving everything out there to get themselves back in this game. Just a little bit unfortunate before on that left to right pass that it wasn't able to go to hand of the winger. Maybe just a little bit softer hands will allow her to catch that out wide. Maybe a little bit less spiral on the ball, and, you know, we'll be crossing for their first one. As we see that man of the hour, Eski again. Oh,
great move. Great move from the Toponuiatia winger, number 11, Rāmika Kiremete. What a move. Beautiful catch. First time we've seen a catch down in that corner. Realised the defensive winger was coming across. Little step off the left and in for an easy score. She made that look way easier than it is, Kev.
I like how you said easy score, mate. That was some great skill there. And the Kiremete whānau I know so well will be cheering at home and on the live stream here supporting the Toponuiatia crew. Well done to the young lady dotting down.
I thought it was an awesome chase out there as well from the winger from Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata. Just unfortunately maybe the conditions of the ground was probably the stopper for her there. Was able to get out to that ball, but unfortunately the footwork of Toponuiatia just probably beat her positioning in terms of where she was on the field. And with those conditions out there, it's pretty tough to make one movement to then come back the other. But great, tremendous work there from the Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata winger. Toponuiatia here, after a defensive set, able to hold out their scoreline, looking to get across halfway, getting back to another strike dump, and he's done a lot of setting here for the Toponuiatia here as Akuhata, you know, understanding his role, making sure that he stays consistent to helping his team out, and then also applying himself on the attacking end when it's his time to enter.
There's a bit of space between those two teams. The referee's doing a great job to keep them apart, to allow the game to flow.
Yeah, it's always pleasing when you get a nice open flowing game where it goes end to end. It's what all the supporters, all the whānau, all the family and friends that are here as well, you know, they want to see the game that goes end to end as we see them looking to attack the line, maybe getting the play-through call there. Is it their first one?
First time I've really seen Mason from Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata. He looks like he's got a bit of gas on him. I hope they go back to him. I hope to see him have another opportunity if they get back down here on the 7. He looked pretty sharp there. Couldn't quite link up with his link player, but looked sharp.
Yeah, Kapai, I was very impressed with Mason's speed there, and like every racehorse has a good mane, and he's got a beautiful mane on him, hasn't he?
Did you ever sport one of those, Georgie?
Oh, definitely so. Got to shave the sides as well. The old mullets were very big in Turangi back in the day, in the 90s.
You see Mason there again. Probably looking to get fresh legs on here now for Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata as they get another opportunity to attack Toponuiatia's line.
How good is this? Brown and Chase together, Kev.
Oh, just the confidence of these two girls, you know, like they're not afraid of when the boys are subbing off. It's, hey, give me the ball, I'll take them on myself. As we see a nice loop play there. Oh, looking for a hole runner. Maybe if the ball stuck, we could have had Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata's first try, but just coming off the fingertips there, I think, holding her fingers. Maybe it popped it on the way through.
From what I've seen of Roimata Brown, she won't be going off. She's been absolutely incredible for this team in the defence, in the yards and on attack. She's one of their main players, has to be been really impressed with Roemata Brown.
Taupo Nuiatia here looking to find some holes in the Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Roemata's line as they look to go out wide to the wing. And there's that boy again, Pirika, showing effort like you, Georgie, out there. You said it might have been one of yours. Just his second efforts of effort on effort, you know, and that's what you want from a coaching standpoint. Those type of players that are willing to go that extra level, extra mile, just to make sure that they leave everything out on that field, especially when it comes to finals time.
Ka pai Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Roemata aren't going to go down without a battle. They're going to leave nothing in the tank. They've given everything. They're trying really hard out there. They're just not getting the dots down on the board. Let's see what we've got in these last 7 minutes.
Yes, we're entering the second half for the second half here.
Oh, Mason, I was hoping to see him involved. Again, that speed, just not quite being able to finish. Nice combination between Brown and Mason there.
I'll tell you what, Mason's become the main man in the second half.
Oh, wow. Just in case anyone else didn't get it, I laughed, Georgie.
They're all shaking their heads, as always.
Here we go, just an unconventional error there from Taupo Nuiatia there, trying to get to their box.
6.5 to go, Kev. 4 down. There's still a chance.
Oh, 100%. I think with the effort we've seen from this Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Roemata team that, you know, they've had plenty of opportunities when they're getting into the line. It's just those last passes that aren't sticking. If these passes had actually stuck, we'd be looking at a pretty close scoreline, maybe even a 4-all. Like, the amount of opportunity they have, I'm sure they're about to crack the Taupo Nuiatia's defensive line soon.
Palmer and Pirikabi, let's see what they can come up with. 3-3 drive, just a bit of a scoop. Ooh, did he get it down? So close again. 7 tries disallowed by a fingertip. Great positioning by the refs. I must actually want to acknowledge the referees. The game's been going end to end, and the only thing that's stopping it is turnovers in the ruck area. Very few penalties. I can't remember the last one. It might have been in the first half. So quality management of the rules by the referees, giving these teams and the people here and at home a good opportunity to see the players play. Oh, lovely little hand. She did it earlier again, and she did pass it off to the number 12. We nearly gassed off the male winger last time and scored, but this time she did. Great little combo, those two over there, Kev.
Yeah, we saw number 12 here, Anika Nochi, feature quite a few times yesterday. I think there was one moment actually in their game yesterday where she crossed for 3 or 4 that were all brought back for 4 passes. So really pleasing to see her get those opportunities today to cross and score in the corner for her team.
Kamaya, one to watch out for. Do you know if she's in the New Zealand system at all, Kev? She looks like she's got beautiful hands, strong link player in the mixed team.
I'm unsure. I've been a little bit more featured within the 20s group over the passage of this season, just with the 2 split camps. But I'm sure that a few of these players here that are on show at the moment will definitely be getting picked up from a few eyes that are roaming around the grounds today.
Ooh, Mason.
As once again we see Mason trying to enter the line, and he's really given the team every opportunity in the second half. Featured a few times through the first, but he's definitely giving it all for his team out there today for Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Roemata.
Yeah, the coach must have had a chat to Mason at half-time and told him to inject himself in the second half, because he's been probably one of the dominant players on the ball in the second half and so close to setting up a number of tries.
We've seen a different level of feature of attack for the Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Roemata team as well. Rather than just trying to take on the short side, you know, they've looked back as we see another great effort there from Brown, possibly a whānau member of Roemata, so some great connection out there hopefully for that whānau.
Another great call too from John Wright, right on the spot. I didn't even mean to make that one up. Right on the spot, John Wright. And just so much easier, I imagine, if you're a player, when you look up the ref's right there on a reel, was it a try or not called, to be able to go, yep, okay, let's move on.
I have to tautoko you on that one, Maya. The referees have been outstanding so far. John Wright in the perfect position to call that one. If he was slightly out of position, there may have been a try given there, but he was able to see it. The touch was made before the ball down.
3 to go, 5-0, Taupo on attack. Second touch coming up, just setting things up. What are they likely to go into here, Kev, you think?
I've just been really impressed by Akuhata's patience as he's come onto the 7. Every time He stays nice and controlled when he gets down to the 7, as we see a sweep with a bit of a two back into the middle, but that pass just wasn't able to go to hand. Maybe what we needed there was just a little bit more straightening up from that sweeper that came around on the back door to bring that defence line into a shutting motion. As we see that nice little check play down the sideline. They've used it a few times in this half, has Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata. They've definitely been able to pick up a few extra yards, and it's really pleasing because it's allowed their attacking set when they've come on to have every opportunity to get down to that 7, something that they were a little bit shy of getting to in the first half.
Mason, can he do it? Oh, unlucky.
Once again, the option and the moments are there, just the ball not being able to stick to hand.
I tell you what, they should go and buy a lotto ticket because they've used all their bad luck in this game with connecting, but they might get some luck when it comes to the lotto ticket today. Main's been outstanding in the second half.
It's been that balance. I know we've all made comments on how close they are to scoring, and I think that's a reflection of the defence of Taupō Nui Aotea. Like, really connected. Very rarely do they break down on the line, so that's a real credit to the Taupō Nui Aotea defence, and that's why they're at 5-0.
Yeah, Kapai, I was going to talk about that. The defence, Taupō Nui Aotea been solid through the middles, allowing the links to stay a little bit looser, so when they do go wide, they can adjust nice and easy, and they're pretty tight in the middle as well. So, no, good footwork, good points, good defence.
Georgie, we noticed yesterday when it comes to the mixed game, the placement of the two girl side, is there actually a benefit from having them on a certain side of the field to the other?
Yeah, a lot of the times it comes back down to the passing game, the left to right or right to left, where the team likes to pass more times, so they can do a saving side or a mirror side. And depending on the coaching style, they'll take that into consideration. So if they've got a really strong girl, they'll put her in the side that gets a lot of attention. If they've got a stronger guy on the other side, that's where they'll put the person on. That's just one of the occasions, but there's many other factors that they could take into play.
As we crawl into the last minute here of our first final of the day, we see Taupō Nui Aotea just wanting to finish where they started as they look to find a hole in this Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Rōmata defensive line. And I've been really impressed since half-time just with the way that they've stayed connected on that defensive line. You know, they've really tightened up that scoreboard and not allowed much for Taupō Nui Aotea as they'll come into their line.
Oh, nice hands, nice yards through the midfield here. Ruamata looking to finish off strong. I tell you what, I was lucky enough to see Taupō Nui Aotea and spend a bit of time with them before this game doing the Touch Fit 360 warm-up, and I think it's done the damage for them today. Outstanding on defence, outstanding on attack, and here we go. It might be a ball down first or a ball down altogether. Referee has not allowed the touchdown, but what a great game we've had for our first grand final of the day. Between Taupō Nui Aotea and Ruamata. Final score 5-0. What a game. Touch.
What a game.